All right, Warrior and Lady Cherokees fans in surrounding areas, we're live here for the first time as we're going to be talking Toloso Midway Lady Cherokees volleyball. And on the screen, I have the head coach here for the Lady Cherokees, Coach Shelby Chapa. Coach, how are you doing this afternoon?
We're doing good. We're doing good this afternoon.
And we do have a special guest that I'm not going to introduce till a little bit here, but she is a junior. I'm going to have her introduce herself here, but she's a great player. I've seen some of her stats. I hope I get to see her play a few games this year. She's a junior. We'll be back. We'll introduce her here in just a bit. But those that are watching probably already know who she is. I'll introduce her to the rest of the community and surrounding areas here in just a bit. But Coach, I do want to jump over to you first here and talk a little bit about and recap some of the games. And so we knew that you were going into these two next two games. They were very tough competition with Calhoun having a great record this year, having a great season, and really tough. They've been really good here as of late, the last couple of years. And then Beeville, who's having a great year. So this is going to be a test for our Lady Cherokees to see where we're at. I tell you, we took the L's, but there were some very close sets. Matches just came up a little short, but I think this is going to help us get in the district and the big playoff run. So the big picture, even though we didn't get these wins, I think are really going to help our girls out. Let's talk a little bit about Calhoun. It was at home. What can you tell us about this in terms of the performance from the Lady Cherokees?
Yeah, I think we came out really great. We took the first set. We had a lot of momentum going in, and then we just, we lacked a little bit of discipline coming in and really just closing out sets. Like we played some really close matches, and we're playing great opponents who they have a great offensive system. They have solid defense. They have multiple hitting options. So we just fell short in a few areas. We're still working to I had some new people on the court these past two games, so some people who had got pulled up from JV. So definitely different pace, different level, but getting them the opportunity to get in and get that experience and kind of show us what they could bring, especially going into district. So it was a good match. It was always competitive. They're a great team. They have a solid team. They always are. Like I said in previous weeks, like we always face each other in postseason. So it's a good measuring point to kind of see where we're at and what we really need to lock in and focus on, going forward, going into district. So I think that was really the biggest thing is they did a great job. They hustled, they ran their offense, they had some big hitters. So they just played really well.
Yeah, it's. I think it's something that we're going to continue to get better at. Obviously, it's disappointing, right? Because you want to get those wins, especially at home against a good a team that we're playing against. But do you felt there was in the two sets because you set 1 and 3 that we're right there. It's a hit here, hit there,
Yeah.
and we've got the win. It two set 2 and 4 is a little bit different,
Yeah.
and so you think it's kind of a lack of focus on the girls. You think
I
that's
think
causing?
so. I think there's a little bit of that. We get into, we talk, we have lots of conversations. Bella can tell you about just really focusing on the things that you can control. Like you can control your attitude, you can control your effort, you can control how you contribute. And I think sometimes we let outside factors, maybe bad calls by the officials, missed opportunities or lack of opportunities or different things like that. We're seeing that come into more into play, like, really dwelling on maybe we had two, three, four bad calls that we kind of let weigh on us and really trying to, especially in those really tight matches where we're losing by 1 or 2 points. It's really working to just play with a little bit more short-term memory and not let those bad calls by the officials or, errors really just weigh on us a little bit. So I think, I think there's points where we lack a little bit of focus and trying to, really finish matches. But I think that just comes with we're really young. At times we could have anywhere from 3, sometimes 4 kids who've never played varsity volleyball on the court at a time. So really them just trying to come in and, now we're at this midpoint of season of, hey, like you're playing with the big girls now, you gotta step up and play. And it's not easy and wins don't get handed to us. So I think that's just really the big thing is just overcoming that adversity and learning to have that discipline and focus to close out those really tight matches.
Yeah, and then we played this Tuesday, which was yesterday. We had the game against Beaver there at home. Another team that is doing really good this year. They're having a great season, and we thought that this was going to be a good test for us. Again, close matches,
Yeah.
one hit, one there, and we're talking, we're winning.
Yep.
But TM got, I mean, BBO got the win. What can you tell us about that game and how the girls performed last night?
I think it's the same thing. Like we're really just we got to finish matches. We got to close out matches. We lost three, or we lost 25-23, won 25-23, lost 25-16, lost 25-23. So those 2 or 3 points, at really critical high intensity moments is really hard. We fought to catch up on that 4 set. We were down at 1 point 7-1. So we did show a lot of just like working through adversity, we showed a lot of grit and fight, but we've got to work to have that from the very start, and not spin our wheels and try and get that, from the end. Viva was a really solid team. I was really impressed with them. I think they're gonna make a little bit of noise in that district with them and Rockport and Sinton and Port Lavaca. I think that's gonna be a really good competitive district, and they're really great solid teams. So I think really playing all three of them back to back to back, I think for them in that district, it's anybody's district title for the taking. Like they're a pretty well-rounded team. They have great size and they had great offensive options, and they just out hustled. They were scrappy, and they had a little bit more grit than we did. So I think it was really good going in, kind of seeing how we handle the adversity. And then really just kind of shifting it. And, like I said last week, we win or we learn. And so really taking what we can learn from that and move forward.
And coach, I think, we're right there. Like you got to be proud of the ladies, and
yeah.
you are right. We're right there. Like we're not like, it's very fixable. If even it needs to be fixable, because I think, it's just the way the volleyball game goes, but we're right there. We're in it with 2 great programs, and the Lady Cherokees, I mean, it's back to back. So you don't even have a day to rest. You play Friday, a good team. Now you got to come back on Monday and prepare for another good team on Tuesday. So I think we're in good shape. Obviously, we wanted to get the W's, but it's very competitive. And who knows what will happen down the road. But I think it's going to make us better as district. It's just around the corner. We're going to talk with Coach Chapa there about the district here in a bit. But Coach, I want you to introduce now your player there, because I got to tell you, your stats are the ones that before I even knew you were coming on, because I don't know who's coming on till you come on. When we go live and they see you, I see you, right? So I didn't know you were going to be on, but your stats really, shined out to me in terms of the things you were able to do. So, Coach, I'd like for you to introduce your junior player here and talk a little bit about her performance against Beeville and Calhoun, because she had a heck of a game.
Yeah, she really did. This is our junior 6 rotation outside hitter, Miss Bella Garcia. Yes. She wears number 5 on the court, and this kid, her stats speak for herself. She plays really great volleyball, and she holds herself to a really high standard. So she's a really, really fun kid to coach, and get to watch and play volleyball. Like you said, her stats were really impressive. She normally double digits in kills and digs on the night. So she plays every single point in a match. So whether we're going 5 sets, whether we're going 3 sets, she is my player who never steps foot off the court. And the way she's able to just play in those moments, that high level moment of never having an opportunity to have a set to compose yourself or to get blocked, and okay, at least I have this next rotation to come out, somebody's going to serve and play defense, and then I can lock back in and focus. But this kid, she does it nonstop, and she really has the mentality of like, give me the ball, okay, I get blocked once, okay, see if you can do that again. And that's what we love about her. And then I think that's why she's just so successful on the court. She just has that ability to play with such a short-term memory and not let a lot of errors and things weigh on her. So she's had a really great season this far. Like I said, her stats speak for herself, and I can't say enough great things about her. I like to brag on her a lot. She's fun to watch and fun to coach. So
yeah, Coach, I can't wait to go out there and watch you. I don't know if I can make any other games, but I know the Cal Allen on Tuesday when y'all go over there, I'll definitely going to be there. I'm not going to be interviewing. I'm going to enjoy the game. I don't want to even worry about it. I just want to see the game.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one. But Bella, thank you for coming on here a few minutes. and talking to us. I've heard about you not only from Coach Chapa and the words that she said here about you, but I also heard from other coaches there at Toloso Midway, your name popped up. So people around there know who you are and the good work and you do. Everybody knows you can play volleyball. And even outside, I talked to a lot of coaches that have played against Tolosa Midway, and your name always pops up. We do podcasts with them, and they said that number 5, she's so when people play Tolosa Midway, they leave knowing who number 5 is. If they didn't know, and they should know who number 5
Yeah.
is when they play TM, but in case they don't, they definitely know who you are. So again, thank you for coming out. Just want to do a little Q&A with you. So let's start off a little bit. So you're a junior. You play volleyball. I'd ask, did you play any other sports at Tolosa Midway?
Yes, I play basketball.
Good, good. And we're going to be covering basketball. So obviously we'll be talking to your coach. We'll be covering some of the doing the podcasting, the Lady Cherokees and the Warriors. So hopefully we'll have you back on the podcast there. How long have you been playing volleyball? I mean, when did you start, and how did you get interested? Because it seems like in TM, the Cherokees, the lady athletes over there, volleyball is like the thing to do, right? Like we had the player last week that we had here. What was her name? Is Garcia?
Melanie.
Garcia. She talked about that's all I play. Like that's my thing. You play another sport. When did you start, and when did you fall in love with volleyball?
So I was about 7 years old. So I was like a kid with a lot of energy, and my mom decided to let me just kind of see what I fell in love with. And I've started basketball and volleyball both when I was like 7 years old, and I've just stuck with that. I played volleyball for Storm, Corpus Christi Storm, and I did clinics there all the time, all the camps, just everything, Little Storm. And I've been doing that since I was 7. I joined competitive club ball when I was 9 and 10. So I've been doing volleyball for about 10 to 9 years in total.
Wow. When did you know? Because you're not good. You're great. Like you're great. You're not good. You're great. Like you're not average. You're great. You're up there. Coaches and people see. When did you realize that I'm really good? Like I am really, really good. I need to really focus on this.
It's funny you say that because I don't think that I've ever allowed myself to truly be like, I'm the best one out there, or I'm so great. Because I know I can play volleyball and I know I'm good at it. But I always think that I can be better. Like Chapa said, like I'm always hard on myself. I always think that I can be better. But I think the moment that I was like, wait, shoot, I'm good, is when my freshman year on varsity, people were like, oh, who's that kid, or who's that? I was like, dang, guys, I just play volleyball. Like,
yeah, no, people realize that. I mean, I talked to Coach Viriel. We do football, and that's the first time I heard your name. We weren't doing podcasting with Coach Chapa yet, and we're talking volleyball, and your name popped up. He goes, man, you gotta, because I told him I want to go do volleyball, and he goes, yeah, you need to. They got some girls over there, and your name specifically came out and said, man, she's really good. And then other coaches that we do podcasts that just play Tolosa Midway, your name pops up. So you definitely the people see the athleticism, and obviously it's the work that you put in, right? If you're that good, and it's a good feeling. I think it's good that you say, look, I don't think of myself that way. I continue to be hard on myself to continue to get better. But definitely know that other people around you to see you, they know who you are, and they love the game that you play. And so, and it's great that you played there for Tolosa Midway, right? For us, are you from TM? Is that where you were born and started school, or did you move in?
I started school when I was little at Yorktown Christian Academy. It's like a little tiny Christian school. I really liked it. I loved it as such as a foundation. It really built like my faith in God, and it's really pushed me through now. Like I rely a lot of my volleyball and a lot of any sport, anything that I do, I rely solely on God, and a lot of my religion itself has pushed me through. But around second grade, that's when I moved to TM. But I really am grateful for my parents putting me in Yorktown Christian Academy, like when I was a little kid, because it really built me a strong foundation as like what type of person I am at such a young age. And it's really just carried me through to my high school.
Awesome. Yeah. And it all starts with the parents. It starts at home. And obviously you have a great support system. Mom and dad definitely have done a great job. Coach, I got to tell you, so we had Melanie last week, and I told you that she was just well well-spoken. You
Mhm.
interview just as good as she does, and I've only had you on here not even 5 minutes, right? But you've got some really, really talented,
I do.
smart girls out there.
Yes.
No wonder your program is so good,
Yeah.
and you guys are great every year. The way they come out, they take a lot of pride in everything they do. Even in an interview here for a few minutes, they take a lot of pride in the way that they talk. So definitely, Bella, man, you're doing a great job. I was really impressed with Emily's interview as well. So definitely to have you come back one more year, and hopefully we'll be a part of this next year to continue to watch your growth is something that definitely I'm looking for. Personal goals. Do you have anything that uh, you're a junior, you got one more year that you tell yourself right now going into this year, I want to be able to accomplish this, not as a team, but a goal for you?
Yes, my goal coming into this year is to hit 1,500 kills. I knew that I was very close to 1,000 kills coming into preseason and into the volleyball season in general. I really wanted to make sure I could terminate the ball because growing up, or not even growing up, but building myself as an athlete, these people start to be like, block her, block this, block that. Make sure you line up on her. She hits here, she hits there. I myself as a hitter, I wanted to be diverse. I wanted to be able to hit those sharp angles, those roll shots, those tips. I wanted the other side to be so confused about what I was doing. I wanted them to have to take timeouts and be like, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she's gonna hit the sharp. I don't know. Myself as a goal as a hitter was to hit those 1,500 kills, but not only just for that goal, but to be a diverse hitter, to have everything I wanted in my toolbox. If I wanted a tip, I could tip. If I wanted to hit you with a sharp angle, I could do that. I wanted to be a type of hitter where you couldn't go into the game and be like, I know where she's gonna hit, and I know she likes that spot.
Wow, that's awesome, Coach. Did you reach that already, or is that something you're still striving to get to 1,500?
1,500 is something I'm striving to do.
Striving.
I recently did get my 1,000 kills preseason, like about 3 weeks ago, maybe. About 3 weeks ago, I got my 1,000 kills, and I'm just still striving. But such as like putting them in different places, that's something that I'm starting to perfect a little bit, I think.
Well, I looked at your stats in these two games, and now that I know what your goal is, and now that we've interviewed, I won't be looking at every time because I know y'all put the stats up, Coach. I won't be looking at that specifically kills because I think you can get there. Obviously, you got one more year, but you're off to a great start. I mean, and yeah, people are going to try. They know who they got to stop. I mean, one of the players that we're going to have to stop to beat Tolosa Midway is number 5. So they're going to come at you. It's great to hear that you are working on knowing that you're not satisfied, that you know that they're coming at you, that you know they're going to try to do everything they can, especially the good teams. So you continue to work to try to become the perfectionist that you say you need to be to reach that goal, and also win games there for your school. Awesome. Let me ask you about the season. So you're about 16-10 now. So is that where you thought that you guys would be? Talk a little bit about your record and the non-district, like I'm sorry. You're 16-10, I think, Coach, or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Where did you think that's exactly where you guys would be right now? The non-district is over now. The next game will be district. It'll count. So just talk a little bit about the non-district and these teams you played and just your overall record. If this is exactly where you thought you'd be at this time.
I don't believe that that record is showing exactly who we are as a team at all. I don't. But I also can say that that record shows a lot of how much work we put in. We're getting really tired of losing. We're getting really tired of it. We're getting really hungry. And all these games that have prepared us, they've been hard games. And I don't think anybody really understands how much technical, how much mental, how much physical goes into all the games that we played so far. And district's coming up and we're hungry. We're tired of losing. We're tired of physically hurting. We're ready. We've gone through the hard stuff. And not saying district's going to be easy at all, but we've been through way harder mentally, way harder physically, and we're ready to put that all into play. Such as, do I think this is what we were going to look like in the beginning of the season? As a captain, I don't want to sit here and be like, I doubted what we were going to look like. I don't want to say that at all. But I did know that we were going to have a young team this year. I did know there wasn't going to be a lot of returners. And I knew that we were going to be way weaker than we were last year. I did know that. 16-10, not exactly what I thought. But I also didn't know the schedule we were going to be going through, because I know that we've gone through some tough games. I know we have. But 16-10 doesn't prove what type of team we are at all.
And Bella, I think people that have followed Tuloso Midway, the record really doesn't matter. For someone like me that's just starting off, just following, obviously 16-10 is, I'm getting to know the team. But anybody that's ever gone up against Tuloso Midway, and we're talking about the last 10 years in volleyball, anybody that follows volleyball there at TM, the records don't matter, because you could have lost every game and people will still play you hard because of the tradition that you guys have there. TM is one of the volleyball teams here in the Coastal Bend that everybody knows. It doesn't matter what the record is. I mean, they've got players every year. My God, the volleyball girls are always athletic and they're going to play tough no matter what. So you're absolutely right. 16-10, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't really say who you are, how good you guys can be. And now we start up in the district, right? And so here's where it counts. What's your thoughts on the district? As you play Robstown, they're coming in here. That's your next opponent. What do you know about them? What do you got to do to get that W against Robstown?
I'm excited for this question. So in the past, I've been able to play Robstown for about 2 years, and they're a scrappy team. They're very scrappy. They can, when they do get a good setup, they're able to terminate as best as they can. They have some good pin blockers. They have a good middle from what I can remember. They're a scrappy team. So such as us as a team, we have to be ready for the tips. We have to be ready for the random roll shots and the block touches. We have to be ready for all of it. But not only that, but we have to be able to control the game. Robstown, hopefully no one's watching, but Robstown shouldn't be able to compete with us the way that we know how to compete. They're going to run the ball slower than we can. They shouldn't be able to run the ball as fast as we can. So we should be able to control the pace of the game. If we run the ball faster, if we're smart where we terminate, we put up a block, we should be able to beat Robstown.
Awesome. Listen, I love the confidence. Some people say you shouldn't say, I love confidence. I think confidence is huge. I think you have to think that way, and you have to you have to play that. You have to think that way to play that way. I know a lot of people say, man, they're just so full of themselves, but I think it's confidence to me. And I love to hear a player, a captain, especially a captain, come out there and take that role. We need to play this way. We're going to play this way, because I think team follows. Obviously, the team follows you. You're a captain. So when you think that way, and this is what we're going to play, they're going to follow their leader. You're a leader, right? So definitely hearing you talk like that definitely excites me, because I was telling Coach Furiel, talking to him about football, I don't live in TM. I live in Rockport. But I'm like a TM fan. Like, I watch the football games, and the first half we're losing, I'm yelling at them, what are you doing? Like, I've gotten into it because of everything, talking to the players, talking to the coaches. I'm getting that way with volleyball, talking to Coach Chapa, getting to know the girls. Want to see you guys success, right? I want to see you guys win that district title. I know that's a goal to bring back. And Coach, I got to say, I've been very impressed. I mean, you have another player here that's returning for you that has a very high IQ in volleyball. I mean, definitely the right choice as a captain, but with a leader like that, the younger girls are going to follow through. To have her like that, leader like that on the court is big. And we talked to Melanie last week. I mean, having these two girls that I know is like having two other coaches on that court, which really helps you out. So Bella, I'm looking forward to the game. I can't make the Robstown game, but definitely looking, and I'm cheering for me from this side of the bridge. I'm a TM fan. I'm looking to go get some gear from Coach Furiel. So I'm going to have the team.
Volleyball shirt. I'll get one for you.
Absolutely. I told Coach today, I said, Coach, you're all TM. Fans are going to say, look, he's saying he's all TM and he's a fan. Well, I don't see no TM gear on it. So I got to go down there.
We'll fix that.
Yes. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. But Coach, before I go back to Coach Bell, I've got a question for you, and that is I'm going to ask you like as Cal Allen. I mean, that's the talk, right? That's not the most important game, but you guys are neighbors, and they want to beat you, and you guys want to beat them. Fans know that. I think fans want to beat everybody gets it. It's the biggest game, right?
It is.
How big is it for you? You played in a couple of them. How big is it? What's the noise out there during that week before you play that game? You play them twice, and how do you maintain your composure so you don't get too hyped? Understanding, I want to get in it, but I've got to keep my composure because I got to play the game there on the court.
Right. So against Cal Allen, it's loud. It's really loud. You can barely even hear the whistle itself. You can barely hear anything. People are yelling. The moment there's a block, forget it. Forget hearing any advice. Forget any support. It is loud. It's like it's so loud. It is insane. My freshman year to now, I think I've done a really good job composing myself, but in the sense of at the end of the day, like I know I'm there to compete, and I really don't see a difference between playing Calhoun and playing Cal Allen. Only in the sense of the only thing different is how loud it is. That's the only difference that I've ever like seen or felt. Yes, like we're both very competitive teams. I want to beat Cal Allen. And I'm sure they want to beat us. I'm sure they want to beat us. But I know I want to beat them 10 times more than when they want to beat us. And I think that's the only thing that's going to different us at the end of the day. But keeping my composure, I just have to remember when I go out there. Because I feel like as a captain, there's going to be the 9th grader next to me, freshman, being like, okay, Bella's not freaking out. Like I can relax a little bit. Like if she's calm, I'm calm. Because at the end of the day, Melanie, Red, me, Lainey, whoever it is on that court, our freshmen, our sophomores are going to be looking at us. And if they see me by looking down, like I'm nervous, I'm all jittery, they're going to be like, oh, shoot, this is a big. They're already 10 times nervous. They're on varsity playing against a big school, against a big team that wants to beat us in our house or in their house. You got Chris 6 News with their cameras watching us, and they just saw us get blocked, or they saw a good dig. Like they're already scared themselves. I don't need them to feel as if I'm putting more pressure on them. And such as composing myself, I just know that I'm out there to compete, whether that's playing against someone that's like 0-15 or like 16-1. I know at the end of the day, like I always compete. I'm going to play the same way I play against Robstown, the same way I play against Cal Allen. It's going to be the same game for me. I just have to tune out the noise because at the end of the day, I have to lead my team. And I can't listen to the crowd. I can't listen to the parents yelling. I can't listen to the refs. I'm there to lead my team. And that's what I had to do at the end of the day, and I can't listen to anybody else.
I love what you're saying, and that is so true. You got to leave the noise for us, the podcasters, right? We like to hype it up, and the fans. It's great. It's great for volleyball fans, right? That's what you want. You want the excitement. You want the back and forth talking. My team's better, as long as there's nothing that gets out of hand, right? It's good. It's good. We do that all the time, right? Without it getting out of hand. But for the players and the coaches, you're right. It's just like playing any other team. For me, it's Cal Allen. We know how big it is. It's been big for a while. The media makes it bigger, right? Because we want the noise. But for you, you're right. As a captain, you're absolutely right. I have to keep my composure because I got the younger players looking at me. And if you're right, if the captain's nervous, then guess what's going to happen to your younger players? So definitely everything you said there. Very amazed, Coach, at what you have here as a player. I'm glad you brought her on so that the community surrounding areas can now put, if whoever didn't know who's Bella, well, now this is Bella number 5, and it's not on the court, but yeah, you're just your leadership skills are really good. I can see why you were up there as a freshman, and definitely why Coach has you as a captain. Coach, are there any injuries right now? Is everyone healthy? I know I ask you that every week, but just want to know.
No, I mean, we're like I said last week, we're at that kind of midpoint of season, those little just minor aches and pains. We're probably a little bit more sore than usual, and we're a little bit more tired than usual. We hit that point with our district having only 6 teams in it. We play a really long preseason, so So we get to this point where we're at district and we're just kind of we're healthy, but we definitely are a little sore and tired than we are, especially playing. We played 3 back-to-back matches where we're playing 5 sets, 4 sets, 4 sets, and that's a lot of volleyball on these girls. It's a lot on their bodies, like Bella was saying, not only just physical, but the mental, the emotional, all of it. It's just high intensity matches, and their brain hasn't had a second to like come off of that. So hopefully we'll we had a good team practice this morning. We'll get to work tomorrow morning, and then we'll go into district play ready to just push out and get to the end. We're at that point where we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and we just we want to keep going towards it, ticking away, getting to postseason play.
Well, we're going to be there at the very end. No doubt about that. The two girls that you brought in there are definitely impressive. And we got good leadership there. We're going to be definitely okay. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the other levels of volleyball. What's going on with our sub-varsity, our middle school? What are they doing down there?
Same thing. Our sub-varsities, they're hanging in there. They beat Beeville. Our JV Gold team beat Beeville last night. Our JV Maroon, they lost, but we have a really, really young JV Gold team. I knew coming in with graduating this year we graduate 6 seniors. I knew we had to build up a lot of these younger players so that way they get a little bit faster game level. So we have probably at least six freshmen on our JV Gold team, which is like the JV. And then, we have a whole nother group of 12 freshmen on our JV Maroon, which is like freshmen. So we have a really big freshman class, and, it's exciting to have them. They work really hard, and they're just eager to learn. So especially at that level. And then same with our 7th and 8th graders. It's really cool because our districts kind of align for the most part. Like, they played Robstown on Tuesday, or on Monday, my bad. On Monday, our middle school played Robstown. Both our 7th grade and 8th grade A teams won that. So it's fun that, we get to, finish the week starting district with Robstown. So hopefully it'll be a clean sweep across the board for us in our program from, 7th grade level all the way through the varsity level of beating Robstown and going into district play and really just playing good competitive matches. I think, there's a lot of really great athletes in our volleyball program, really young kids that are eager to learn. And these older girls, they lead such a great example. There's so many of them who have, come to our games and they're in the crowds, and it's something to look forward to, that those high intensity matches, they're fun. They're in the crowd, they're screaming their heads off. And, they have great leadership in these older girls like Bella and Melanie and all of these upperclassmen that I have that really lead with a lot of integrity and pride for who we are and what Cherokee volleyball is. Like you said, there's such a long legacy of success that teams come in and they want to beat us just because of who we are, and just because of how we did 10 years ago in volleyball. Going back in state, there's just that people want to beat us. And so I think these girls are building that legacy of just competitiveness and pride in our school and our program. So I'm excited for the future of Cherokee volleyball. I think it's growing and it's building, and me going into my 4th year next year being here, it'll be fun to kind of get through a whole class of kids from freshmen all the way through their senior year. So these kids are really truly not mine, but they're mine. I've invested into them for 4 years, so it'll be fun to see what's to come with them and continue to build the program.
Well, you'll have Bella back next year. That's a blessing. That's a blessing for our team. But it is. I think with all the success, and you talked about that. I didn't really think till I heard you say that, but the stress that they go through, right? The intensity of the game, the mental part of the game, it can wear on the player, especially all these games, back-to-back games that you got to go win. And I think the pressure of just playing for Toloso Midway, when you come in and you hear around there, right, the success. You got to win games. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the expectation over there, which I think is good, but it is a lot of pressure when you get into that varsity spot. What's expected of you. The crowd, the fans expect to win more than they lose, and that's pressure for coaches. That's pressure for the players. So I'm glad you brought that up because that is something that gets lost. The expectation when you put on that jersey of what's expected because of the players that have come before you and the success that they've had. And you're right, you're going to get the best coach from everybody. Everybody wants to get noticed. What better way
Yeah.
to get noticed than to be Toloso Midway, right? Then people take
Yeah.
notice of it. So
Yeah.
definitely going to get the shots. Coach, you brought a junior on. I always have you and want to talk to you about an underclassman. You can pick the one because I know we're not going to be able to get everybody on. But or you can take a senior since you got a junior, take your pick. But can you talk to us about another player that you've seen the growth, or a player that's a senior that you've seen that growth, and expectations for her have been great this year?
Yeah, I think I want to talk about number 9, Michaela Salinas. We call her Red. She's our ginger on our team, but she's a kid who's come a long way from my first year here to now. She's had a lot of growth and maturity. She's a kid who has taken every single role I've given her and just said, yes, coach, I'll do it. Like, she got moved up my first year onto varsity. And she didn't get the most amount of reps, but when she had an opportunity to go in, she took advantage of it. And then going into her junior year, she stepped in and played, right side only for us, having 2 setters with, Melanie and then Maddie Hinojosa, who graduated last year. That was just not her role last year. Her role was to come in and just be a 3 rotation right side hitter. And she stepped in and she did a great job. She's the kind of kid who there's not a lot of noise in what she does, but she does a really good job of keeping the ball in play. She's that kid that we know we can go to, who's going to keep the ball in play and keep us in those long rallies, because she's just going to find that shot and find that placement. So she may not be like bouncing balls like Bella, but she's working to find the shot. She's working to keep the ball in play. And she plays her game and knows what she brings very well. And so then, coming into this season, graduating Maddie, who was, a 4-year varsity player as well, and needing another setter. Michaela had set her freshman year on, freshman, and then she had set a little bit her sophomore year on JV. So she's coming in and she's running the offense for us, and she takes it. She comes in and she does her job, and, she hasn't set a ball at the varsity level ever, and she's doing a great job of doing it this year. She's, giving the ball to our hitters. She's playing great defense. A lot of times she may be playing 6 rotations too. She's setting out of the back row and playing her full rotation across the front row. She's really fun to have. She, takes hard coaching and she just takes it in stride, and she lets us coach her, and she handles it so well. So she's a silent leader on our court sometimes, but she definitely holds her own, and the girls really respect her and what she brings to the game. And it's really fun to watch her play and get to coach her.
Now, Coach, thank you for talking about your players. I know we can't get them all. I know the seniors, we're going to have that senior a podcast, and we're going to get to meet them all. But definitely, thank you for what you do, Coach. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come in every week to talk to you on your podcast and bring your girls, because I think it shines light on the volleyball team in your program, but the community and surrounding areas can also tune in, even if it's weeks from now, and see and hear, like what Bella said. It talks a little bit about herself. They get to know her a little bit better. Some of us will never be able to just see her on the court, right? So to have her to come on the podcast and people can actually hear her talk and hear what she's all about and her work that she's put in. It's been great. Coach, I'm going to ask you now to talk a little bit about the upcoming games, the district games here. You've got Robstown and Zapata, 2 important games that, of course, for TM, we want to start the district 2-0. What do the girls need to do, in your opinion? What do you know about them, and what do we need to do to get those W's?
Yeah, I think like Bella mentioned earlier, Robstown's a very scrappy program. And like the conversation we have been having, and we have it with the girls all the time. Everybody wants to beat us. That's, and we've got to want to beat that team, whoever the opponent is, whether it's Robstown, Zapata, Laredo, Cal Allen. We've got to want to beat them more. And we can't ever underestimate an opponent. So I think that's the biggest thing going into district play, and, going back to those conversations where, we see a lot of different levels throughout district play. We see really scrappy ball. We see, teams who have better offenses, weaker offenses. We play teams where, we have these great hitters and they just have scrappy defense, and they're like, what the heck can I do to terminate the ball? Because they're just like everywhere. Like an arm is coming out and they're getting the ball up, and, it can be hard and frustrating. So I think it's really just, coming in, focusing on, don't underestimate anybody. whatever they're like Bella said, they could have an 0-16 record or they can be 16-1. But don't underestimate them and what they have to bring. So really just controlling our level of play, and controlling the things that we can. We know what we can bring to the table. We know we should go into starting district, going into playing Cal next Friday, 2-0. So we've got to bring that. We got to stay true to our standards and our expectations, and just play the volleyball that we know how. So I think, I'm excited for, to start district play with these two opponents. It's going to give us an opportunity to just really work to like play some gritty volleyball. Like, who's gonna, be flying everywhere for balls, who those scrappy plays that just the ball is coming over and you're like, well, how in the world did that happen? Like, we just thought I terminated the ball. So, we're excited for that level of play to see, to kind of just, give us a different, change the pace a little bit. So I think going in, we just really need to focus on, not underestimating opponents, going in, playing good, clean volleyball and staying true to our level of play and what we can bring.
It'll definitely be important. And Bella, I'll tell you, Coach, and Bella, I'm learning the terminology. I'm learning.
Yeah.
There's still some things on the stats that I have to Google because I don't know. So I apologize because I was a basketball player, but I'm learning. Just want you to know. I see some. I don't know what that means. I'm not gonna text Coach because the coach can say, "What do you mean? You're doing a podcast?" But I do Google. I'm learning. I'm writing a definition because I definitely want to know more about basketball. I mean about volleyball, but. Now I'll go to you, Bella, and talk about your coach. Earlier on the podcast, Coach, you heard what Coach said about you, thinks highly of you. So I'm going to give you the opportunity now. What's it been like to play for Coach Chapa? What, I'm sure, she's from TM. She played there. So I know there's a connection there that you girls have with her because she's one of your own. She's one like you guys. She's a Lady Cherokee. But what's it been like for you? What's it meant for you to have played for a coach like this, and what has she done to help you improve your game?
Oh, this is a very broad question. Chapa's done a lot for me, but I think she's a great example of tough love. I think she's a great example of it. She's gonna kill us in the weight room. She's gonna kill us on the court. She's going to, this is what you need to do. This is what I know you can do. I don't know why you're not doing it, type of thing. But at the same time, then she's like sneaking you a little Gatorade because she knows you're tired. Like, she's a great example of tough love. But as a coach, she taught me a lot about holding yourself accountable within yourself. She knows you're going to have bad days. She knows that. But at the same time, it's not an excuse to not give 100%. I know what my 100% is, but tomorrow I might have a bad day. And 100% might be just me shanking a free ball pass. We don't know. But at the end of the day, all she asks, and she lets us know, and she's taught me to give myself 100% as all the time, as much as I can, even though my 100% might look different, to always give that. Mm-hmm. And she taught a lot about confidence in my game. Mm-hmm. She's taught me a lot about that, to hold myself higher than what I do or what I used to. Because I used to try to be super humble about what I do, and I am very humble about what I do. But it's okay to own it. It's okay to know that I'm good at volleyball, and it's okay to know that I can terminate a ball and I could probably hit you in the face with it. There's a difference. And she taught me a lot about myself. And not a lot of girls have had the same experience that I've had with Chapa, because I did meet her through CC Storm when I was a little kid. I've known her almost my whole life. And she's like a second mother to me. I saw when she got engaged. I was there. I was a little kid. I was like, it's just been an amazing experience. Mm-hmm. And I've got to grow to a young lady with her. And it's just been an amazing experience overall, just sharing everything through volleyball, escaping, because that's kind of like why I love volleyball, because it's given me an opportunity to separate my hard work life, like school and drama and all of that comes with being a teenage girl, and volleyball. They never had to mix, and I can just kind of let everything go and play my sport. And Chapa's created a safe space for not just me, but for this whole program.
Listening to you talk, Coach, it's family over there. It's volleyball and it's team, but it's family. Everybody loves family. It goes beyond just the court, which I think is great. That's why that chemistry is so good. That's why that trust is so strong. because hearing the girls talk, I heard Melanie last week. It's family over there, obviously. It's family. It goes way beyond volleyball, TM. It goes way beyond the court. It's family over there, coach. And you're definitely, and we got to give you kudos, coach, because it starts with you. I mean, you set that foundation over there. Great assistants, great players, but the leader, the head coach is the one that puts it out together. You set that foundation where everyone can follow. So if this family is building, if the chemistry is good, if the trust is good, a lot of credit goes to you, obviously, for the vision, and you're putting it together and they're following. And that's what's going to keep TM successful in volleyball for the next 10 years. Great job, coach. Bella, great job. I mean, I was really impressed with you. I'm glad you're coming back next year. I'm going to be looking at all the girls, but obviously at what you do every game here as soon as it's posted. I'll probably be waiting for coach to put it in there. Where's it at, coach? Where's it at? Where's the stats? I want to see, but we can post it up as well. So yeah, refresh it. Exactly. But watching, just being able to post too, being able to take that on the network and posting it up there on our network so people can also see. You know, we don't focus here. When I started this podcast, it was never about negativity, and the people that work for us and my partners, because I have two partners that are with me that we do this. You know, we have meetings. It's all positive. There's no room for negativity. If a kid has a bad game, we don't post it. We don't talk about it. There's none of that. We want to create a positive atmosphere for the kids and let the communities know. We have a bad game, we have a bad game, right? We don't put the stats up there. Say we had a bad game and that's where it is. We focus more on the positive. And when you have a game like you had, we definitely want to post those on our networks and let people know the talent that we have there at Toloso Midway, because it shows the hard work that you're putting in to be able to perform like this consistently, because you perform like this consistently. It's not game here, game there. You bring it every game, and that is hard to do. So we definitely want to be able to show that to the surrounding areas in Coastal Bend, because I'm from Rockville, you're from TN, but I love Coastal Bend. I support all Coastal Bend teams, right? So I want to let other areas know the talent we have down here in South Texas, Coastal Bend area. Bella, thank you very much. I hope Coach will bring you back again. Definitely looking forward to that Cal Allen game, the second go around there. I would definitely be over there. It's on my calendar. And Coach, thank you for bringing her out there. Been very impressed with your two players. Good luck, Coach, in the next two games. I'm looking for us to be 2-0. As then we'll face that big game against Cal Allen. Bella, I'll give you the final thought, man. Anything you want to add before we let you go?
I'm just excited. I'm excited for you to see the Cal Allen game, and anybody that's gonna go. I'm excited. I'm excited for our girls. I'm excited for the rest of the season. We have a lot to prove still, and I know a lot of teams see us as an underdog, but I think that's the first mistake, actually. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you definitely play. I've never seen you play, but the stats, I can vision you playing, and Coach talks about you. So definitely looking forward to seeing you and the rest of your teammates play. Coach, I'll give you the final thought. Anything you want to add before we let you go?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to go into the district play. These girls, they're incredible. I can't say enough good things about every single girl in our program. We talk a lot about everybody has a purpose in our program, and these girls, they show up daily. They work hard. They let me love them hard and be tough on them, and that's just we want to give them a lead with a good example. So I appreciate them. They're the ones that are here. They wake up when we have 6 a.m. practice. They're here early. They love me for it. They love to hate me for it. We love morning practice.
We have to be here
but I couldn't do what I do without them, and I'm incredibly thankful for the work that they put in and that they bring daily. They come in and they work, and they on good days and bad days, and we do it together collectively as a whole. So. And we're excited. District starts Friday, so we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Toloso Midway Warrior Cherokee fans, definitely. Is the game, Coach? I'm sorry, I already turned off my monitor. Is it in Toloso Midway? It's in Robstown.
Yeah, we have play here on Friday, and then we're in Zapata on Tuesday.
Ooh, that's a travel out there. So Lady Cherokee fans, Warrior fans, TM community, definitely come on out. I'm sure the gym's packed all the time, so they don't need me to tell them to come out. But definitely we start district play to support the noise and all that stuff. Definitely help the Lady Cherokee start the district 1-0 as they look to bring a district title back home this year and make a deep playoff run. Coach, I'll just end it with this. Toloso Midway is lucky to have Coach Chapa there leading their volleyball program. Did a good job in hiring you. And you're doing a great job. We got to give credit. It's always about the kids. I understand that. Coaches never will talk about themselves. Every coach I've ever had on gives it to everybody else except themselves. So we here on the podcast are going to do it for you. We're glad to have you there. I can definitely, since we've been doing the podcast, I can tell by your voice how much you love these girls. They're more than players.
I do. Yeah,
Family to
they
you.
are.
And you're lucky to have Coach Chapa there. And we're lucky to have Coach Chapa there leading our volleyball program. Coach, thank you very much. Bella, good luck. Coach, good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Looking forward to the next player. Been impressed with the first two, so definitely looking for
Yeah.
player number 3. I think I'll be just as impressed as I was with the first two. Good luck, and we'll see you next week.
See
Thank you
ya.
for meeting you.
Man.